Hello and welcome to another ADAS calibration video. My name is Brian and I'm with SmartSafe's technical support and training team. Today we'll be calibrating the front camera on a 2017 Audi Q7, and we'll be using our X431 ADAS Pro Plus calibration frame along with our iSmartLink 801 display tablet. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we need to establish communication between our tablet and the vehicle. So we'll go ahead and plug in our VCI into the vehicle's OBD2 port. Next, we'll switch the ignition on to position 2. And then we'll start calibrating with the ADAS calibration function. So our tablet is making communication with the vehicle via the VCI. Okay, and you'll be prompted with the tablet is asking for some vehicle basic characteristics. So here I'm just going to go ahead and select that this is a Audi Q7 USA edition, and then it will populate the rest. We'll click the start button, and we'll go ahead and start the ADAS system scan. So here you'll see that we have a fault code, and it's for the front sensor. So we can click on that just to get some more information. So it looks like we need to do some calibration on it. So we'll go ahead and create our pre-repair report first and start that. And we want to create the pre-repair report so that we have a baseline of the vehicle as if it coming into the shop. So we want to, that's a protection for the shop owner, and that way you have all the information already recorded. Now on the pre-repair report, you can put in information such as a maintenance or work order number. You can put in the customer's name. You can put in the odometer, license plate, any remarks that you'd like to add. And you can even add photos. There's a way to take a picture with the tablet. Built in right into the tablet here is a camera. And I can go ahead and, let's say if we were window replacement, we can go ahead and shoot a picture of that. This will also add all of the fault codes that were listed. So we'll move forward and create our report. And you'll see that we have the fault code and as well as the picture that I just added. So we'll go ahead and click on Save. And next we'll go ahead and press on the ADAS calibration function. And then you'll be prompted to choose what exactly are we calibrating. So in this case, we're calibrating the front camera. So we'll select front camera. This is the next selection will be calibrate the control module. And in this case here, we're going to be using the ADAS Pro Plus. So again, we're prompted for which calibration frame we're going to be using. So I'll select the Pro Plus. And then you'll be prompted with information as to why we're doing this step. And then of course the pre-calibration steps, making sure that our steering wheel is pointed straight and that our angle is at 0. Want to make sure all of our doors are closed. Tire pressures are set to the manufacturer's specifications. Want to make sure our headlamps are off. On this case here, I may not be able to do it because those are the daytime running lights. I'll see if we can turn that off later. And then of course, just make sure that the area of the windshield where the camera is located, that the glass is clean. As far as the shop area is concerned, just make sure that you have even lighting. It's best to do it in indoors, and that your ground is flat. All right, so the next step we'll be doing is resetting our frame to the default values. So we'll go ahead and do that next. So the Pro Plus frame has 3 adjustments that we can make to set everything to a 0 state. We have the parallel fine tuning, which means that we're adjusting the yaw position of the frame. We have the left and right position, where we can adjust the frame side to side. And of course, front and rear or fore and aft position. So I'll go ahead and get those reset right now. Over here on the left, we can adjust the yaw. Over here on the right, I can adjust the side to side motion. And down here, we can go ahead and adjust the fore and aft. So the frame is now in its 0 position. So we'll move on to the next step. Our next step is to install the ranging panels. So we'll go ahead and start with the wheel clamp ranging panel that goes on the rear wheels here. And there are bubble indicators to show that we're level. And we just want to make sure that those are at the correct level here. And we'll repeat this on the driver's side as well. The next step is to install the ranging panel, and this will go on either side of the front wheels. So I'm doing it on the passenger side, and you want to just center this panel to the hub, just as I have done here. Okay, we're ready to move to the next step. Our next step is to go ahead and start aligning the frame to the vehicle. So the first thing we'll do is install our center laser onto the frame. That goes right here. We'll turn the laser on, and we have now a laser image on the vehicle, and we want to just position it to the center as best we can. We'll still be making some fine-tune adjustments, but this is just to get us started. And then I'll go ahead and turn on this rangefinder here, and we need to be at 1500 millimeters from the center point of the range panel there. So currently we're at 2000. I'll go ahead and move this frame up. Get that squared away. All right, and we're just at about 1500 here. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next step. We want to make sure that our frame is level. So we have bubble viewfinders here, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Looks like we need to make a little bit of an adjustment, and that will be done by these knobs that are on the casters. So I just need to increase this side a little bit, and actually we're right on. So we'll go ahead and go to the next step. Now next we want to make sure that our frame, or again the yaw of the positioning of the frame, is centered with the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our side lasers, and these lasers are the ones that are going to be hitting the ranging panels on the rear wheels. And for this, we want to just make sure that the values on the two sides are equal. So currently, I'm at about 4760 and 4754 on the driver's side. So I'll pitch it a little bit to the right, and we're going to land at 4758. And then, again, making sure that we're still centered, I can go ahead and adjust the left and right positioning of the frame so that we're center here. And then our next adjustment that we'll need to make is our height. And so I'll go ahead and get that set up. And it looks like we're going to need to be at 1330. But first we'll go ahead and lock in our position. And we can do that by locking our casters here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the target in position. And our target for the Audi will be the LAM0102. So let me do that now. Next, we'll be installing the LAM0102 target. But first, we'll go ahead and turn off our central laser, and then we'll need to remove it. We'll flip up the tab here so we can attach our target. And on the sides here, we're just going to place the holders, lock them in to keep the target from moving around. All right. Our last step is to go ahead and adjust the height of the frame. So this has a power lift, so we'll go ahead and engage that. And we need to be at a height of 1330. So we're almost there. Actually a little too high. And we'll crank it down with the manual adjustment knob in the back. And we're at 1330. So at this point we're ready to calibrate, so I'm going to go ahead and move myself away from the camera, out of the view of the camera, and we'll go to our next step. So I'm going to go ahead and press our calibration button. I'm going to stay out of the field of view of the camera here. So click on calibration, start the calibration. I'm being prompted to say whether or not this vehicle has air suspension or not, and I know that this one is not installed, so we'll say no air suspension. And we need to make a few more inputs to the calibration here. So we have to measure the height of the wheel wells, both the front and rear and both sides. So I'll go ahead and make that right now with our tape measure. And it looks like we're coming in at about 850. And I'll verify that for both sides. And checking the rear, looks like we're coming in at about 875. So verify that on both sides here. Actually, it's 870. So we'll go ahead and input those values. So the first one I'm being prompted for is the left front wheel. So we'll enter then as 850 millimeters. Next is the right front wheel. So I'll enter that also. It was 850. And the left rear wheel was 870. And the right rear wheel is 870. Your values may be different. Okay. And then you'll get a summary of those values that were just entered. And if they're correct, go ahead and click on yes. And now we'll go ahead and start the calibration. Okay, we got a response back that the calibration status service is okay, and that all the values are correct here. So we'll go ahead and press continue to complete. Have a successful performance calibration response. We're going to go ahead and clear the DTC from the memory here. Okay, and the memory has been successfully erased. Or I should say the DTC code has been successfully erased. So we'll go ahead and click continue. Okay, and then next we need to switch the ignition off. And then we'll switch it back on. And then we'll click on continue. Okay, and we have a successful calibration response again. We have an end of test response. Now we'll be prompted to complete our calibration report, so we'll hit OK. And in our calibration report, we show a successful calibration. We'll hit save. And next we want to combine our reports, so we'll hit the report button. We'll change our report type from pre-repair to post-repair. We'll then click on the add button, and we'll combine our pre-repair report along with our diagnostic scan to complete a comprehensive completion report. We'll hit OK. If this was an insurance claim, you can go ahead and enter the insurance information at this time. But in this case, we'll hit OK. And there we have our report showing the fault, our picture, and the successful calibration. So this concludes our video. We hope that you find it helpful, and we'll see you at our next one.